The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural, metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about? Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go. Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Journey Radio Show, and hey, we're the She Squatchers.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen Cruz, your host, and I've got my fellow teammate Jenna Grover on. Hi, Jenna.
Hello! It's so wonderful to be here. And today is a different kind of show, isn't it?
It is. And I just got to say, we're missing Tammy tonight because she had a medical emergency at home. So
love you, Tammy.
Love you, Tammy.
Sending love.
We love your whole fam. Anyway, we have a really fun show for you tonight. It is definitely different. Let me tell you what happened. So we have this friend on Facebook, Bobcat Carpenter, if you know him from the Bigfoot community online. He reached out to us saying he was always wanted to be on our show, and he is seeking help finding a mate who's interested in Bigfoot. So, ladies, we're here to help introduce you to Bob Carpenter on this week's show. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. He's single, age 42. He's a great cook, very independent, and has a lot to offer. Bob is looking for a partner to share his life with who has the same passion for Bigfoot and nature. Bob says there's nothing that he can't do. So, without further ado, let's bring Bob on the show. Hi, Bob.
Woo!
Hello, ladies. Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Hi. And any ladies who are wanting to know more about Bob, you can find him on Facebook under Bobcat Carpenter. Just putting that out there right now. But hey, Bob, we want to hear more about Bigfoot. Let's talk about Bigfoot. How about that?
That sounds good.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. How did you get interested in Bigfoot?
Well, can I ask, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I first, just because you said that he wanted to be on our show, and I'm so sorry, Bob, but I'm curious, how did you find us, and what made you want to be on the show?
Actually, I've been following your channel for a couple of years now, so I've been a huge fan.
Oh, that's awesome!
And I always wanted to come travel. I always wanted to come to the Virginia Bigfoot Con, but I don't have a car, so it's kind of hard for me to travel. If I had a car, I would have already met you guys. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for being our supporter. That's awesome, and being a fan. Now, please go on and answer Jen's question. Sorry, I had to just find out a little bit more.
Yeah. So how did you get interested in Bigfoot? When did that and how did that happen for you?
Actually, I've kind of like I started getting really into it like a couple years ago when the internet exploded. You know, after YouTube exploded with the Bob Gimlin film as we know it. So when I started seeing these videos, I'm thinking, you know. And I've always loved nature itself. And I always told myself, well, I'm fortunate enough to be in the state of Ohio. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. So born and raised here in 216 area code. Yay. So, and I'm not too far away from it's called the Cuyahoga County National Forest. So, and as we know it, this is the state of the Ohio grassman and the Ohio lizard man, for those people who may believe in lizard man, whatever. But anyways, I started getting interested in it because I've always loved walking, and I love just walking in nature, period. And there is a area that I used to like to walk. I have a back issue now, so it's kind of hard for me to walk right now. I'm in the process of getting help for my back, getting back in shape. So I have a team of doctors helping me get back in shape. But I used to walk like 15, 20 miles at a time. And
Wow.
I used to just walk from here to the forest, which is about a 20-minute, roughly about 20 minutes away from where I live, because I'm in the city and it's not too far for me to actually walk to the forest. And when I started hearing about Bigfoot, I'm like, I got to start going. I got to start looking. So it's not that, I've always been interested. I've been interested in just about anything from ghosts to aliens to UFOs to, you know, I'm kind of like all over, even spirits, ghosts. But I really got into Bigfoot and just reading about it, and uh, I can go on and on. Just the fact that our government, for some people may not know this, but our government had Bigfoot in the Washington Atlas in I believe it was 1977, as an endangered species, not to hunt it. And why would our government say that? Because they meant it. But after 1977, you couldn't really get your hands on it, but you could download the PDF format online for those interested in it. It's Bigfoot still in the 1977 Washington Atlas.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I've always been intrigued in it because I think they're just another species. Maybe they're kin to us. I would like to think that they're kin to us, but yeah, I have a story to tell. I have experience of my own.
Let's hear it. I'd love to hear it.
So, first of all, well, first of all, even though I'm a believer, I'm a skeptic, number one. And I was a skeptic. I'm still a skeptic, but then after I told myself, I started walking in the forest, I told myself I'm going to just go in the forest with an open heart. And if I see something, then I see something. If I don't, I don't. And boy, I can tell you, it was a couple years ago when I was when my back was in better shape, but it was actually 2017 when I was in the forest. I've been in the forest like a year ago too, but when that incident took place, it was 2017, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was just a day where I had, a matter of fact, I had my I told myself I have to have my cell phone ready in case I see something or feel something. And I was just ready to snap pictures quick. And and I was also a big fan of the Mountain Monsters. So I don't know, there's a huge community of the Mountain Monster fans. So me watching the Mountain Monsters, they always said if you follow the rivers or the streams, that's a good area to start. And where the forest is, there's a trail. It's called the Ohio Towpath Trail, and it actually goes into the forest, and then you can actually take it all the way down to, I believe it's West Virginia. It's one huge trail.
Oh, wow.
But I biked that. I walked it. Me and my one buddy, my high school friend George, he passed away from cancer. But
Sorry.
before he passed away, me and him said we're going to go. If it took us all day, we're going to go on that trail, and we biked it. We left at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we biked that whole trail for like 4 or 5 hours, and we just spent the whole day just enjoying ourselves on that trail.
Nice.
And getting to see everything on that trail, and it's a beautiful trail, and it goes to the Ohio National Forest, and so you get to see, just unlimited, sights. And ever since then, it's always been on my mind. And fast forward to 2017, I went back out there and I told myself, I'm skeptic, but I'm ready to see if I could maybe witness something. And boy, I tell you, it's a story that I like to tell everybody. First of all, I was walking on the trail and I was coming up because the mountain monsters tell you if you follow the sometimes you get lucky and you can follow the rivers and then sometimes the power lines. So if you follow the power lines to the rivers, it's all connected, and that's exactly what I did. And before I even saw what I thought I saw, I actually filmed and I took a picture of it. I filmed a face that I saw that I know I seen in a brush, like a big, just brushy area. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, holy, you gotta be kidding me. And I wasn't on no drugs. I didn't smoke anything. I didn't drink anything. So I know I wasn't hallucinating.
No gummies? No,
No,
I'm teasing.
I didn't have any medicine that day, so I know I wasn't tripping. But I saw a face and I snapped it and I know I saw something and I'm like, I just kept shaking my head. I'm like, what did I know I didn't just see something, a face peeking out. And it was as clear as day. I saw a nose, I saw two eyes. It almost looked like between a human and a gorilla, but it looked more human than anything else.
Do you remember any specifics about the face, about the hair, about the body?
I didn't see.
Oh yeah,
The odd thing is that I hear some people refer to these as shapeshifters, or they could be shapeshifters, and I was skeptical. I mean, I was still skeptic about that issue, and what I saw actually backed that up. Like I saw its face, but I did not see its hair unless it was camouflaged real good to a point. But I still to this day, what I saw, it was more human. Its face looked like mine, like a human, and I was stunned. I was like, whoa, what I can't believe this. And I kept walking. On a trail, and then I thought I seen something else, and then the odd thing is that I saw this big black head pop up, and it was right by the power line, power grid. I mean, what do you call those power towers or something?
Jen, do you know?
Like a cell phone tower?
Not a cell phone tower, but shoot, I don't know what they call those, but they're like basically your power grid. It's
a
those
power line corridor.
Huh?
Power line corridor.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So, I saw a big black head pop up like right next to it, and I kept zooming in, and I'm like, whoa, what did I see? And then as I zoomed into my left with my camera, and I had a pretty darn good camera then, and I was stunned. I'm looking to my left. I see a head pop up, and I'm looking to my left, and I see this is just a story that goes along with it. So I got to tell the whole thing. I saw a young boy that happened to be right there also, and this boy was probably 12 years old, and he was by himself. I was more concerned for the boy. I'm like, I'm asking myself, what is a 12-year-old boy or a 13-year-old boy doing in the woods alone with nobody with him, And the weird thing is I went up to the boy, and I'm just a stranger, and I went up to the boy. I says, "Excuse me, are you alone? Do you have anybody here with you? I'm concerned for your safety." And the boy says, as soon as the boy turns around, I see a shirt, and he had a Bigfoot shirt on. And I started laughing. I'm like, no way. I'm like, don't tell me you're here. The same reason why I'm here. And the boy told me, yes, I am. And the boy told me that his dad and his brother was picking on him because he believed in Bigfoot, and they wouldn't go with him. And so he says, I told my dad and my brother, I'm going alone.
Well, good for him. That
And
takes cojones. Sorry.
yeah. And the odd thing is that I had asked the boy, I says, did you just see something right at your right hand side? And the boy said he was fishing there. And when I snapped the picture, I clearly got the picture of him fishing, and he had his fishing pole. And you clearly see the head about maybe 4 or 5 feet to his right. And it looks like whatever was there was staring right at the boy. And when I asked the boy that, the boy is like, that's weird. You just asked me that, because he says he was fishing and he had been fishing there for 45 minutes, and he says something had been following him, and he could hear the ruffle in the leaves, and he said whatever it was kept following him, and he was kind of scared. He didn't know what it was, and there me and him, I'm having a conversation with a young boy about Bigfoot, and I thought this is kind of funny.
How ironic. Synchronicities.
Yeah. So after that day, and after that day, I was so intrigued. I kept going back. I kept going back there and back there and back there, and I just wanted to see if I, saw anything more, and I didn't. And then ever since then, I've been going back in the woods. Like I even picked different other spots just to see if I got lucky, or But I actually plan to get back into the woods here very soon, in the next couple weeks.
Can I ask, have you ever seen anything other than Bigfoot as far as cryptids go?
No, but I mean, well, since you asked that question, I'll throw this out you. I actually, I had experience with the ghost when I was a kid.
Ooh.
If you guys want to hear that,
sure.
That's an intriguing story. I like to share that story as well. So this actually goes back when I was about 11 years old. Way back when, I was depressed because my older brothers. I got a big family. There's 6 of us, and my older brothers wanted to leave state to go see their real dad. We had the same mom but 2 different fathers. So, but we're still close brothers. Well, they wanted to leave state and go meet their other dad, and I was like just distraught. I'm like, my brothers are leaving me. What? How am I going to survive? And my 2 brothers that I know was my brothers, they just wanted to leave and never come back. And I was so depressed. I used to go to church and everything, and I got mad with God, and I thought, why did my brothers leave me, And I got to a point where I'm like, I don't believe in nothing no more. And I was 11 years old with that mindset, and I had my mind made up that there's no such thing. And boy, boy, was I wrong. My father was a carpenter, and my father built houses for people. And I used to help my dad when I was a kid, and I would just go on jobs with him. And my dad would tell me, don't come, it's too dangerous. Or my dad would say, don't come on the roof. I'm on the roof. And as a kid, you don't listen. But I always wanted to be with my dad and learn, things. And I was on a job with my dad when I was a kid, and we were at this one house, and it was actually, and this was before. This was right when my brothers were supposed to leave and go out of state. And my one brother was actually with us on that job. it was me, my brother, my dad, and my one uncle. And at that time, I had, like I said, I had my mind made up. There was no such thing as an afterlife. There's no such, you know, I just, my belief was down to nothing. And every one of us, and um, we were like in the living room, and my dad was painting. My uncle had some plaster on the wall, and my dad had asked me to hand him some tools and to help clean up. And I remember we all heard footsteps, and we heard clear footsteps, like ding, 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 going up the steps. And there was a hallway adjacent to the living room, and we heard footsteps, and we all just drop everything. We just drop everything, and then we heard the door shut upstairs. We heard the footsteps, and then we heard a door shut, and my dad just looks at me and my uncle, and my dad says, "You and little Bob go upstairs and see if that was wind." My dad thought.
Oh, you was scared. I'm sorry. I
my,
think that's funny.
my dad thought maybe a window was open and the wind had blew the door, or there was a gust or something. And I remember me and my uncle went up there. There was no window open. There was no nothing. There was no. We couldn't find any source, And and me and my uncle comes back downstairs, and we just keep working, keep doing what we're doing, and then we hear a voice. We hear, like, as clear as day. We hear a moan, like a female moan, and I'm like, and even my dad stops, and everybody, and my dad told her, Did you guys just hear that?" And my uncle, my brother, we're like, "Yeah, we just heard that," and every one of us heard the same thing, and it shook me to the core. And then after that, I tell you, I remember that like it was yesterday. And the woman comes home, and my dad asked her, this is a weird question. My dad says, "Did somebody die in this house?" And she says, "Yeah, my mom passed away here." And she says her mom was like 100 or 101. She was old.
Oh, wow. So do you
So
think?
she
Oh,
she
go ahead.
said she had told us. She says that's my mama.
Oh, so she knew exactly who you guys had talked about. Oh,
And after that, like, I mean, even though I was 11 years old, after that, I didn't question things anymore. And still to this day, I can get depressed and down and out. But I tell you what, I believe with all my heart that there's an afterlife, and there's a reason why we go after, and you know, um,
yeah.
that our soul continues.
That's great.
I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm. So have you ever seen any cryptids other than you haven't actually seen Bigfoot?
He did.
Oh
Well,
yeah, that was
like like I said, I saw a face, and I swear when I saw, well, that time when I was on the trail, I saw the face, which I got the picture of, and then as I walked I would say about a mile from there, then that's when I saw the head, and then I saw the boy. So it's like, definitely I saw something that had a face, and then I thought I saw something that had a head, but I can't say for sure the head was a Bigfoot, but I know that face was, because I couldn't come up with any other solution to what I had seen.
so what do you think they are?
Um, I mean, just like I said, based upon what I saw, the only thing I could come up with is something between an ape and a human. But as I kept looking at its nose and its eyes, I'm like, this is not just an ape. It looked more human than anything. It had more of a human kind of face.
Do you think that's why people are scared as far as shooting them, or they don't know what to do?
I think so, because then they're stunned. They're like, "Whoa, I don't want to kill this." It's like some people, when some people will say, "I have a groundhog issue and I want to kill these groundhogs," but then when you see their babies, you don't want to kill the babies, because then
Yeah,
why would you want to kill the babies?
I totally understand. I would
Yeah.
just pay someone to do it.
What?
I said I would just pay somebody to do it. I wouldn't be able to do that. It would break my heart, and then I'd have new pets everywhere.
Let them live. They can live here. It's a sanctuary.
Yeah,
Yep.
until there's a billion around and you go broke feeding them and cleaning up their poo. Anyway, I do have a heart, a very kind heart.
I don't like spiders at all, but I still put them outside. They deserve to live, not in my house.
I'd say the same thing. Not in my house.
Right. Right.
Well, this is awesome. So you've got all these stories to share. How have you seen a lot more?
Well, I mean, besides that, the only thing I did see, well, me and my dad saw a UFO twice when I was a kid.
Ooh,
That's a different story. You want to hear that one?
sure. Jen?
Sure.
Um,
We have a few minutes before break, so.
Oh my goodness, it's going fast, going fast.
um, well, actually, the UFO that me and my dad saw, that was, I think I was about 15 years old or 16. Me and him was on the highway coming back from Pennsylvania, and my dad was driving, and my dad was the first one that seen it. And my dad's pointing. He's sort of like, "You just see that thing?" And he rolls down the window, and I see a white orb, and it's like, and he was driving his. He had a Chevy pickup truck, and we were on the highway. And when he rolled down the window, um, you see just like this, just like these little orbs that you see here, even though that's my disco light. So it looked like one of those, but it was going like fast, like it went like.
What
What
color?
was
it
your
just-
color?
It was basically, it looked like something like this, but it was like white. It was like a white orb. And my dad said, "You see that thing?" And we followed it for like, I don't know, a good couple minutes on the highway. And it was like, it wasn't no, even my dad said that's gotta be a UFO, because it wasn't, it didn't go down, it didn't go up, it didn't, we knew it wasn't a plane because it just stayed vertical, like as if it's on a line, and it's just staying, and it just keeps going. It don't go up, down.
That's
And
interesting.
yeah, and we knew it wasn't a plane, because when you're looking at a plane, usually you can see the little red blinking light.
Mm-hmm.
That's an indication it's a plane, and we saw clearly it was a white orb. And
Yes. So many more people are seeing things these days, and there's a lot of people theorizing on why. So, what are your thoughts on that?
well, I can go deep in this, but while I do know that a government has that technology, they can make that technology. Um, I I just believe that we're not the only ones in this universe. We can't be. There ain't no way.
Mm, you're not the only one who thinks that or believes that. I think we're
Yeah.
pretty close to the break, aren't we, Jen?
We are close to the break, so why don't we take our commercial break now, and we'll be right back with Bob Carpenter. Okay. Good job, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yay.
You're welcome. You're doing fabulous.
We done already.
Oh, I'm so tired.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have dinner yet?
I just got home from work, so I had like a half a bowl of soup.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would have been like, oh, it's time for bed.
Soup is always good.
Cheesy broccoli and carrot.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge soup fan. I like meat. I like steak and chicken. I like soup, but I'm not like, hey, I need soup all the time.
We always go out for soup. What are you talking about?
You have soup.
You usually order French onion soup.
But that's with a piece of meat.
That's true.
I love potato soup. That's my favorite.
I'm not a huge fan. If it didn't have the bacon in it, I'd be all about it.
Yeah, I don't like bacon in it. I used to like bacon a lot, and I've been not liking it so much lately.
Mm. Well, that's crazy. So if you could say one crazy thing right now, what would it be?
Who, me?
Yeah, anybody.
A crazy thing?
Something fun and crazy and exciting.
I could talk to ghosts. No, I'm just joking.
I see dead people.
We actually do see dead people, but yeah.
I love that show.
I did too. That was a good show.
You guys ever watched the show
Welcome
called
back to the show, everyone. This is the Journey Radio Show. We're the She Squatchers. Why don't you check us out online at shesquatchers.com. And hey, click on our events page and see where we're going to be. There's more to add coming up soon on there. So I know we are going to be going on expedition very soon. Jenna and I leave June 8th to leave for our Pennsylvania expedition. Our crew, our film crew, is already out there. They're in Kentucky right now, but we'll be meeting them in Pennsylvania soon. So after June 8th. But they're in the field already doing their work. But so yeah, we're back to the show. We've got Bob Carpenter, also known as Bobcat Carpenter, with us tonight. And hey, Bob, you were telling us about your ideas about alien life. What do you think?
Well, getting back to what I was saying, I just know that we can't possibly be the only ones in the universe because, there's millions of galaxies out there, and we just can't be alone. And, like there's plenty of evidence. Like, if you guys know what the Nazca lines is in Peru,
I do. Yes,
the
they're
Nazca
giant.
lines.
They're giant pictures that they just scuffed the dirt because in Nazca they don't get any in this location. There's no wind and there's never rain, and it's been like that forever. And so somebody scuffed the dirt, making these giant pictures that can only be really seen from the sky flying over. And they discovered them when an airplane flew over and was like, "What is this?" But when you're on the ground, you can't tell that it's anything.
And what does the word scuff mean for those of us who don't know it?
Scuff, like just
scuff.
Yeah.
Huh. I thought I had to be thinking it wrong.
So the same type of thing was actually made in the United States. Michigan and Minnesota and Wisconsin were covered in these. They're called effigy mounds, but here they were made differently because we have wind and rain. So they actually built the ground up into mounds, making into shapes, the pictures that you could see from the sky. Most of them were destroyed by the farmers in Minnesota, but there's still some that are protected. There's the man mound in Wisconsin, and there's a spider mound, and so it's just amazing things like that. This similar pictures that are found in Nazca and Peru. Pretty cool.
And there's also and then since I'm in Ohio, there's also the Serpent Mound,
which is very cool. I actually visited there. One of the Bigfooters that I was visiting took me there because I'm like, I want to see the Serpent Mound so bad. And it had such an interesting energy feel to the whole place. And it's right by the water, and to know the Native American ideas about what a serpent stands for, it just made me have more questions than anything. What do you think the Serpent Mound was about?
I was well, I've been trying to get my one friend keeps saying we're gonna go see it. I want to go there so bad to see it. I mean I saw it on YouTube and researched it, but that's one place I would really love to visit because I think that there's some connection to that. Like you said, I think that there's more connections to things that we don't even know. Half the stuff. It's like just like the magnetic lines that connect pyramid to one pyramid to a pyramid in Egypt, all running all the way to Brazil, like as if you took a laser beam. You know, there's unanswered questions like some of the blocks in Nazca. It's like some of those blocks they say you can't even put a piece of paper in. How did they?
What do you think? I mean, what do you think? You're giving us a question. I'd love to hear your answer.
I think it's technology that had to have come from a different world, and then I think it's technology that, or it could have been maybe a technology that was here 5,000 years ago and then just got lost.
That would
It's
be
like,
amazing.
because I was just reading an article earlier that said that they're concerned that Antarctica is going to melt, and if it melts, it's gonna be bad for us. So, and they're predicting that there's an ozone hole that's growing there, and it keeps getting bigger. So it's like, and they say Antarctica used to be forest back millions of years ago when the dinosaurs were still here.
Yeah. So
So
many theories, so many beliefs, so much science.
there's things that we'll never know. I mean, wish that we do, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of unanswered questions. It's like you know, some of those stones even in Egypt, we don't have the technology to lift those stones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's talking about Egypt right now. It just seems that everywhere I turn, if I turn on the whatever you scroll on, or like the YouTube scroll, I guess maybe I should stop scrolling because all I see is Egypt stuff. I'll be quiet. But have you guys noticed a lot more Egypt things? People talking about Egypt?
No, that's just you.
Well, then that's gross. No, I love Egypt. I think it's beautiful. It's fabulous. I can't wait to one day go there.
Me too.
That's
I really want to visit there.
mm-hmm. They said it's very dangerous though for white blondes, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll go brunette
Why?
before I go.
Why? What happens?
They take women. Actually, I think I'm too old to be taken, but they do. I'm not kidding. They'd be like, she has no uterus.
I don't think that they care.
Oh, I thought it was for baby making purposes.
If they're stealing women, they're probably being put into a sex trade or what are they doing with them?
I don't know. I just got so far.
You know, Bob?
Huh?
Do you know why they would be stealing women?
Oh, I agree with you. It's probably the sex trade because that's the whole world. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
They don't
sad.
They don't care if you have a uterus, Jonah.
Well, I'm not going to Egypt anytime soon then.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a sad thing because that is a major thing. All over.
Yeah.
Getting
Jen is
back,
actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
getting back to what we were talking about. I wanted to share something too about and like for instance today, I was the neighbor kids was outside, and after we got done playing, my one neighbor kid he had asked me. He says, "What's the tallest man ever?" And I told him, I says, "That was Goliath. Goliath was 9.9." And I reminded the kid, I'm like, and then his friend, they started talking, and I told the kids, I'm like, do you guys know the stories that was told back 5,000 years ago that there was supposedly humans as tall as cedar trees? And I was amazed that the one boy, he's about 12 years old. He knew, he schooled me. He says, and he
Nice.
told his he told his younger friend, who must have been probably 6 years old or 7 years old. He said, yeah, there was people like 30 foot tall, but the kid says that's because the dinosaurs was big and oxygen was big, so therefore everything grew big.
12
And
years old.
the kid knew that. He was like, everything grew big because we had, everything just like your sequoia trees in California. They're the ancient trees.
Mm-hmm. That's very neat.
And
So
then
what happened after he schooled you? Did you raise your hands and say, sweet kid, nothing else? Nothing else to say?
I told him, I'm like, you are smart.
Oh,
Yeah, I told him,
maybe he'll watch the show and be like, I talked to him.
yeah.
So cool.
These kids these days, they know everything. It's like they can show you everything from A to Z.
I'm really surprised that he knew the Goliath story.
Yep.
That's awesome.
See, now I was taught that the reason why people lived so long back then was because there was a canopy of water that surrounded the earth. And when the giant flood came, it was because the canopy busted and the water came down. And we were no longer protected from the sun's rays by the canopy of water. And that's why we started not living so long. That's what and that's might be a religion thing. I was brought up in like 3 different faiths, so
Yeah, because people back then could live two or 300 years old. They say
1,000. I think
supposedly,
Methuselah lived to be 1,000.
yeah.
I bet they looked fabulous.
You would hope they weren't old and wrinkly.
No, well, you start thinking about being even like 180, and it's like, ooh. But
Yeah.
maybe at that point their energy was just changing to their mental reading everything and saying, I'm sunshine, baby. I don't know. I'm just going to be quiet now. Get a fade out.
Could you imagine that, to live to be 1,000 years old?
Yeah. I mean, what would you look like, really, at 1,000 years old?
I think if we lived to be 1,000 years old, we wouldn't age as quickly as we do now, because who would want to live? Like, we're already starting to feel it at 50, right? So
You may. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I feel pretty good at 50.
I feel like I'm a 42.
yeah. Well, so I think if we're already feeling it, and people live to be 70, 80, 90, 100, right? So we're halfway. Well, we're halfway there, and I'm not going to sing it. It was in my head though. But if people really live to be 1,000 years old, you wouldn't think that they would be aging as quickly as we do. That's just what I'm thinking. But
All I keep seeing is like 1,000-piece or 1,000-year-old piece of like leather. I feel like, stop it, Jenna. Stop thinking about that. But I hope it's like you said, and they looked like knockouts.
And they could have been youthful, because the sun might have not, like, the sun might have not have had the same UV rays as it does now.
Ooh, look at you bringing out some facts.
yeah. And if there was a water canopy above the earth, then we would have been protected from the sun's rays.
Yep.
So, yeah. We would have been in a bubble.
Oh, wouldn't that have been fun?
A bubble.
I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't want to live in a bubble. That's all I have to say about that. Fading out again.
A bubble with the dinosaurs.
No.
Yes.
I don't want to live with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I don't like to be at the bottom of the food chain.
You know what would be amazing is if they did have a time machine, like in the next 20 years or so, and you'd have the ability to go back and visit in a safe way to all these different times. You could just like just completely visual only. You couldn't communicate. That'd be fun.
You know, I used to imagine what heaven was like, and I thought maybe that's what heaven was like, that you could just be like, oh, I'd like to go visit 1952. And you could go visit it, you know?
Yeah, because we may be the time machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to go back to 1920.
Ooh, why?
I watch old like 1920 videos of London and New York and Chicago, how it used to be, and just it fascinates me how people like. I had a conversation the other day with my sister and her fiance, and we're talking about how, and this could be a touchy subject, but how discrimination is now compared to back then, and like we're talking about, it's just the times. It's like I could watch some of those videos and you know, everybody was getting along. You had African American people like being chauffeured. They were the chauffeurs for the rich people, and the rich people would pay the African American people, and everybody had a smile on their face. The drivers, the chauffeurs, they had smiles on their face. Everybody was getting along, and
I
that's
think they were paid to smile. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, I see what you're saying, though. There was a different time, a different culture comparable to now. So you'd go back to the 20s?
yeah. Because I would love to be in the time, because I don't think there was very little racist at that time. Racism.
I guess I didn't realize that it was less racist. I'll have to look that up.
Not a history buff, so I can't help here.
I could send you a couple of videos. I'll show you.
Yeah, that's cool. It was a hard time in the 20s. I think I'd like to go back to like the 60s. As my age now,
Be a flower.
I would rock the 60s. People would be like, yeah, it's Jenna. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. I'm right here. It would be so much fun. I'd totally wear flowers every day. Like I'd rock flowers. I'd
Would
do
you
it.
go to Woodstock? Be a hippie?
Oh yeah. I'd somehow make my way backstage, not to sing or perform, but to meet everybody and be like, hey. And then that's it.
I would love to go back in that area. To go back in that era and be part of Woodstock, because that was the most peaceful thing. You know, millions of people just enjoying themselves.
Right. They were there in a peaceful music fest.
Yep.
Detroit Lakes has a musical fest. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been there, or if you ever want to go to a music fest, but it's called the Wee Fest, and it is awesome. They have so many bands, and it's similar to back then, but it's not the same at all, because they kind of spendy, but great music.
Similar, but not the same at all.
Yeah.
Wee Fest.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I never went.
I've been going since Wee in '83. Actually, something else in '82. I just can't remember the name of it. But yeah, Wee in '83. That was a long time ago.
CCR, Creedence.
I love Creedence. Oh, you just about got me to sing.
Yeah,
that was a hard one. I'm glad I got that. All right, so you're gonna bet. What about you, Jen? Where are you gonna go? What generation? What year would you like to go back?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would like to see how the native people lived before the whites came here.
Okay.
Be immersed in that culture. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. It's
Yeah, but and when I think about just like recent time, I think the 1950s. I'm a 1950s girl. I'd totally rock a poodle skirt.
Oh, I had a poodle skirt when I was young. My mom bought my cousin and I matching poodle skirts. And they weren't real poodle skirts, but the gal made them handmade. So it was like we felt really cool. We were really cool in our poodle skirts. We wore them together with a white t-shirt, just saying. We
I
were
could
really
see
cool.
I can see you both on roller skates with polka dotted dresses coming out and handing people their food for the cars.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be so much fun.
I love polka dots. I have a lot of polka dot outfits.
Yes, I used to be a polka dot girl too, but not anymore.
Why not? It's so cool.
Sometimes I just like plain. I just like the plain Jane sometimes because that's how I am. Plain Jane.
That's funny.
Oh,
All right, so let's talk about do you know anything about the Black Eyed Kids?
Uh, what was the question again?
Do you know anything about the Black Eyed Kids?
No.
Well, then we won't talk about that. What do you think about alien abduction?
I think I mean I believe a lot of people have been abducted. I mean, I read stories and watch videos and encounters and and then of course the one video I believe it's called crap, my mind just went blank now.
that's okay.
The Encounters of the Third Kind, I think it is.
Close Encounters of the Fourth
Yeah,
Kind?
yeah, thanks. I'm getting feeble.
Oh no, I get that. God darn it! I was just gonna ask a question. It was a good question because I was really interested. Yeah, no, it's gone. And I'll just
Yeah, but
sit here and smile.
I do believe that there's been people that has been.
That they've been abducted.
Yeah.
Why do you think they get abducted?
My own theory is I think um that they're probably interested in us, trying to find out how we're different from them. And that could be why, because like you hear of also the cattle, the cattle killings, and farmers are finding their cattle drained of the blood, and there's no, that is weird that they're finding these, their cattle drained of blood and there's no evidence of it.
Yeah, yeah, and there's never any for sure answers.
I tend to think that maybe they're looking at the livestock to see, the health of the planet. Like how is it deteriorating? Is it changing the cattle? Is it changing the livestock?
Hmm.
That's kind of what I was thinking that they were doing. So why else would they keep doing it?
Maybe the cattle have something in their blood that they need for the babies that they're taking up.
The babies that they're
The
taking.
half and halves. The
Oh,
half and halves, and yeah.
hybrid humans?
So maybe those cows have something in their blood that is being removed from their blood. And
Don't you think we're hybrid humans?
I don't know what the hell we are, but oops, sorry for swearing. But you know what? I'm so glad to be one.
Right.
I'm a hybrid.
You're a hybrid human? There you go.
What kind of human are you, Jen?
I'm definitely a hybrid. I for sure think that we are hybrid humans.
And I have a funny sense of humor. Sometimes I like to say this, and I joke around sometimes, and I say, supposedly God, our maker, whoever higher power made everything and us, nobody has ever seen this God. What if he is an alien?
What if
Well,
we are the aliens?
angels by definition are messengers, but we always say they don't come from here. So wouldn't that then make them alien? You know,
Yep.
some
Because
degree.
you had the Nephilim, you had the angels, you had the Anunnaki, the giants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just want, you know what I really, really like is if everybody just says, whatever, like wiping the slate clean and saying, okay, ladies and gentlemen, these are our new species of persons. And then we go through and we learn the species of aliens, we learn the species of Bigfoot, everything else. I wish that could happen. But that's just wishes. Like my mom says, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. She was so smart.
Yeah, it would be nice. I think that a lot of times the government holds back information because they think the general public can't handle it. But I think they're becoming more open about the UFOs and alien encounters. Because even when they released all that information, people didn't freak out. They're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. They
So,
probably thought everyone was going to be whoa, up in arms.
yeah, and we didn't. So
I think we can handle much more than they're giving us credit for.
we're ready.
Yeah, we are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to know more.
I am too. Once I saw that gnome, my whole world changed. I'm not kidding. It just changed. It's like everything becomes like you look at everything different.
Yep. Once you see something that you didn't think really existed, it changes.
Well, who would have thought? I mean, I would have never thought that that's what I would see when I was looking in a bunch of bushes. Who would have thought?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. But yeah, it's a crazy life-changing experience, and I wish everybody the ability to have it.
And where I live here, I want to share one more quick thing. Where I live here, we have Lake Erie. It's one of the biggest lakes, and it's just a couple of streets away from me. It's not even 2 mile walk where I can go, and there's been YouTube videos of UFOs over our lake here, and my theory on that, I think they're coming for the water because they would probably need water for where they're going, you know, or to get power for the, maybe power.
Yeah, you never know. I was watching, I don't remember what I was watching, but they were talking about how, and this was just theory that they were putting together, but they thought that what they're possibly doing, they being the aliens, different kinds, I don't remember the whole thing, but anyway, they had these thin slices of battery type, that just a thin slice of this battery paper would last for the whole ship. So if you've seen that show, let us know, because I forgot what it was. But it was so neat, and that's how they travel in the smaller ships, and without all that area for fuel and things like that. So it takes a lot out of their ship. I thought that was pretty neat.
We are coming to the end of the show now. So, Bob, tell people how they can find you.
So you can find me on Facebook under Bobcat Carpenter.
Bobcat Carpenter on Facebook, everybody. Especially the ladies out there who might be interested in getting to know Bob a little bit better. He's interested in finding a lady who is interested in all the mysteries like Bigfoot and nature. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And thanks, Bob, for coming on the show tonight. We appreciate you.
Everybody, namaste.
Namaste. And
good night, everyone.
This is our jam.